Hi, my name is Mr. Wolf, and I have your student this semester in English 11. I'm very excited about this semester. Obviously, it's been a very different year, and it's exciting to get a fresh start with this semester, start getting students in the building more, and be able to work with them one-on-one. My primary goal for this course, or one of my primary goals, is just, especially in such an uncertain time, to be building relationships with each individual student and then using those to help them grow in class. I've found that not only is that my favorite part of teaching, I really enjoy meeting students and learning about them as individuals, and but also when I do that, it really helps us to work together in a much more productive and effective sense. And so that's a really the best way I found to be able to work with students. And like I said, it's my favorite thing about being a teacher. I like to be able to meet individual students and learn more about them. Um, for this course, we do a lot of speaking, listening, reading, and writing, right? It's an English course. I love to be able to focus on those. My goal in English 11 by this point is to focus on English-related skills, but also really start getting some real-world applications for some of the things that we do. As students are in 11th grade, many of the students in this course are in CTC and focusing on other career paths. Some are planning to go to college, some are planning to go to trade school after high school, technical school after high school, others are planning to go right to work. With a group that is that diverse, it's important that not only do they have good quality English skills, but also that they have other real-world applications for those skills, because everyone's going to be using them in a different fashion. So that is something I like to try to do in this course, whether that be infusing technology into our course, or making sure that we can work together to maintain good quality reading skills, good quality writing skills, etc. A couple things. Every single day we do a couple things daily. One is daily independent reading. Sometimes that can be replaced with listening to a podcast. One of my primary goals for this course, on an academic sense and past high school sense, is that students would know what kind of books they like to read and be able to read beyond this class as they continue on out of high school, or know what kind of podcasts they like to listen to and listen to those beyond high school as well. If they do not enjoy English but can in the future go on and do those things, I think the long-term benefits of that are immense. Also, every week we do weekly vocabulary. Students actually contribute to that based on words they might not know in their independent reading. And so those are things that we do every day and every week, are independent reading and vocabulary. As far as units for this course, we read a few books. One is The Giver, which is what we're in right now. It's a great book to start with. It also has a great movie component that students are able to watch and do some comparisons and things like that. We also read the book Night, which is a Holocaust memoir, and The Kite Runner, which is a fictional text that is very interesting, very intense and dramatic, and just a great read. For all of these books, we'll focus on things like close reading, themes, hopefully just enjoyment of reading, having a chance to just enjoy a book that students read. And so that's just that's a great portion of this course. We will also do some nonfiction reading. Well, there will be nonfiction reading infused into the course, as well as some short stories. And even occasionally, though not all the time, we will do some poetry. Students oftentimes balk at poetry and do not necessarily want to do that, but it is an important thing to learn and to do and to practice. And so we do a little bit of work with poetry. One of my favorite units in this course is our journalism unit. Journalism is one of those more practical units where it has real-world application. A lot of students don't necessarily know how to handle journalism, and they also do not know how to, and often don't have practice in writing journalism. And so journalism is such a wild topic. There are so many different ways of learning about it, because there are so many different formats for it, right? There's TV news, there's articles, there's websites and apps and podcasts and all these different things. In that unit, I do give students a ton of time to just do their own exploration and listen to or watch or read whatever they like to for a lot of news, and so they can learn new things. I challenge them to maybe try things that they're less comfortable with or less familiar with and see what that's like. And ultimately, the goal of that is to be able to write their own piece, oftentimes an editorial, and also to hopefully have a critical eye of all news. So that they are more informed consumers of it, since news has become such a confusing topic in recent years. Another unit I really enjoy in this course is our Career and College Readiness unit. As I said before, students come from all walks of life into this class. And so a Career and College Readiness unit allows students to sort of choose their own project as a way of preparing themselves for their futures and using that to move themselves forward. Basically, the goal of the project would be to prepare for whatever college they hope to attend, or trade school, or technical school, or career they want to do, and sort of give themselves a head start in preparing for that, researching that, and learning about that. If students struggle with what they want to know about that future job, it's also a great way to just spend time researching. Again, this comes down to some of those more practical applications of English to their real lives. There will be, speaking skills, reading skills, writing skills that will go into their future jobs, and I like to leverage that in this course. Another unit that I really, really enjoy is a little bit of practice with podcasting. As I mentioned before, I give students a lot of chances to listen to podcasts. I think they're a great way for people to learn, especially for people who don't necessarily have time or enjoy reading, but are able to have something going in the background when they're driving, it's when they're working, etc. And so I think it's very important for students to be able to listen to podcasts. I also think it's a great skill for students to practice as we move into a world full of new media where the internet allows and technology allows media to be published in various different ways. And so it's a fun unit and an interesting one. We do a unit about justice versus injustice, and they are able to do a podcast of their choosing with a group, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a really interesting thing to see and learn, and for students to build skills that they don't always practice in an English class. Oftentimes we are so used to reading and writing that we forget that some of those speaking skills can be practiced in digital ways as well, not just in discussion or standard assessment. Lastly, one of the things I like to do is focus on a little bit of professional writing. My favorite way of doing this is a very short sort of mini unit we do on writing professional emails. It's just a couple of very small projects, or one project with a couple of emails on it. One thing I've noticed is that with the advent of technology, students do not always know how to speak to people digitally, and yet many jobs require that people be able to email or message or chat or something along those lines in a way that is professional. So I try to practice that with students so that they get a chance to do that, and it's nice to see some very quick growth after just a few tips and practice sessions to see how students begin to message me on Schoology and work forward. As far as work expectations, I hold very high standards for my classes, and I do my best to make sure that students are able to meet those with my assistance. So I do expect students to get all of their work done, and I do put myself out there to really, really help them with that, whether that be during a focus period. I will come in early and meet with the student if they need help. Depending on the day, I can stay late with them some days and work with them if they need to work. Focus is probably the best time to do that. So I like to make sure to help students during focus if they need it. But again, the goal for this course is that students are always getting their work done and staying on track. But I like to make sure that I'm always available to help them with that, because I believe that is my responsibility. And then obviously students as 11th graders will hopefully hold up their end of that responsibility, and we just work together collaboratively to make sure that everybody succeeds and is able to get their work done. I'm always open to students' questions, even if it's outside of class time. If it's easy for them, they can simply shoot me an email or message me on Schoology. Then I'm able to at least see that and hopefully talk to them about that the next day, or message them back, or kind of know some of the struggles and concerns maybe they're having. I really, really want everyone to succeed in my course. That is the ultimate goal, that everyone finds some kind of success in any of my courses, and that we are able to thrive and move forward together.